This is my backyard mud pit. It's about 4.5, 5 feet wide and 6.5 to 7 feet deep. I went down about 4.5 feet, so I started hitting the water table, and then I built a little 2.5 foot box to go around the original pit I had in the ground to make it about almost 7 feet, which is taller than I am, of course. Now what you have to do if you're going to build a mud pit is call Julie to check for gas lines, electrical lines, and so forth. Now what you want to do is, after you've dug your hole, is you want to get a liner like this. You get them at any pond supply store. They're kind of expensive, but well worth the cost because they last forever. 25 to 50 year warranty. It's a 45 mil liner, and what it does is it keeps the water that you add in with the mud from seeping into the ground and drying up to become hard as a rock. It contains the moisture, so it has nowhere to go, is what it does, and you need a barrier like this that won't rip or tear. Now, the type of dirt that I recommend is black dirt. You can see some of that on the stick there. Black dirt is cheap, and it's fairly well screened. There's no rocks. You might find some twigs in there, but when you're in the mud pit playing around, you can kind of pick the twigs out. It gives you something to do. Peat moss is a good thing for maintaining moisture, but it can cause a skin rash. So I would not recommend peat moss. If you use any, use a very small amount. But this mud pit that I made, 7 feet deep, has probably 200 bags of black dirt, 40 pounds. And I'm just starting this pit. It's early May, and it's too cold to go in. First time I opened it up about 6 weeks ago, the dirt was all hard, so I had to use these PVC pipes here. You can see the holes that I drilled in it. What I do is I stick it down into the bottom of the pit, stick my garden hose in a little opening like this, and just squeeze the nozzle trigger, and the water percolates up through the mud and softens it. And then of course I have this stick. Mechanical agitation is also good. Now as the weather warms up, when it gets into the 70s, you can go in the mud pit and break it up with your hands and feet, and then squeeze the nozzle and just stick it down into the mud pit and squeeze the trigger that way with your hand submerged into the mud. Okay. Other than that, I also have these little flaps here, these doors, and they have a clasp on them. Let me show you on this side here. Okay, this clasp, when it's not in use, like in the wintertime, I close it up. This door will close like a flap, and I lock it for liability reasons. See, there's the lock there. You don't want kids, being curious and jumping in and getting stuck in there, then you can get in big trouble. Also in the wintertime, it keeps leaves and stuff out, and so forth. But right now I'm keeping it open to let the heat, the sun warming up, and the rain, April showers to come in and help out a little bit with the irrigation of it. But like I say, for right now, getting it irrigated well and agitated up to soften it up, because what happens in the wintertime is that the dirt all stratifies and becomes hard like clay, and you just got to break it up. But if you really got money, you might want to use like fine clay powders, but that's extremely expensive, like $50 a bag. Other clays might be less expensive, but black dirt is fine. It's nice and screened, and there's no hard rocks. You don't have to worry about debris in it. So I'll do another video as the weather warms up and I'm able to get inside of it. And then if you have questions, please comment, and I can try to help you out. Thank you.